Welcome again, guys. So today we will discuss in our Python series built-in functions, right? So we have some functions which is already available in Python. You don't need to import any of the libraries, right? Which will install with the core installation of Python, right? So we will discuss some basics built-in function which we maybe use in day-to-day operations or almost daily basis, right? I think few of them already we have discussed in our introduction class, where we have discussed the print statement. We have discussed the input statement, I think, where we were getting the input from the user, and then we were converting that input to the int using int function to the integer, right? Because by default input function takes the value as a string, right? So, anyways, we will look into one by one, right? So I have done the same thing. I have created a new notebook and let me rename it to the built-in functions, right? And once it is done, we will upload it to our GitHub account. So the first is the print, right? So print is, as the name suggests, right? Like you want to print something. So it's simple, right? Hello from path for cloud, and if you say it will print the same statement, right? But before we do it, right, or maybe go uh, ahead, there are few other functionality with print, right, where we can discuss this and let's see how it goes. Let's say you have a equal to 1 and b equal to 2, right? So we can directly do this operation with the print, right? You don't need to define this result into a different variable or something directly. You can print with this, right? And if you have let's say a variable defined, right, then the value of a is, so here what is happening is a value is already defined, right? So you need to just keep the a, right? See the difference here, right? Whatever the string is not defined, I have capped into the double quotes, right? And whatever value is already defined, which is in outside of that string, right? Now you can see that it is printing the value of 1. So like that we can make use of print if we have the variable defined, and if you want to print the value or you want to keep the value in your sentence or in your string, right? Then that way you can define. But there is one more way you need to you can define, right? Let me show you that. That is something called f string, right? Let's say I will say name equal to path4. Okay, let's say it is name1, and name2 I will say, yeah, sorry, you need to define that string in the double quotes, right? That is why it is complaining. And name2 I would say cloud, right? Fine. Now if we want to go with this statement, right, directly what we can do is name1, and then simply we can say name2, right? It will print that path for cloud. But that way I don't want, right? I want to be pass it as a f string. So first thing is how you can pass it that as a f string is, let's say hello, okay, from this, and then without space I would say this, right? Once that is done, right, that whatever the string you want to print or whatever the sentence you want to print, once you close that double quotes, just put the dot, and after that say format, and then in the simple parenthesis you need to pass that value, right? That way you can do, right? Here it's just simply you can pass this value, right? What I will do is I will say path4, and then I would say cloud, I think we are good. So here you can see, right? So this is a kind of a container, right? Like which is just taking the input. Let's say if I'll do the same thing again, and if I'll saying this one, right? So it will throw error, right? Because it is expecting three arguments to be passed, because we have a three index, right? Which is or the space positional argument, you will say, right? Positional argument, it is not getting the three, so that's why it is giving. But here you have see that we have the two positional argument and it is getting the exactly two values, and we are giving this, right? So that way what it can do is it can pass that stuff to you, right? Here you can see that we are passing the string itself, right? But what if we need to pass the variable, like we have already defined name1 and name2? So what we can do is simply we can say name1, and here we can say name2, and you can pass it same thing, right? There is one more way to pass the f string. Let me show you. Here you don't need to wait for this positional argument, right? Simply you can pass the variable name in the bracket. So if you print like this, okay, what is the type of here? Okay, you don't need to put the dot here, right? Yeah. So see, same again, we have the same result with the print as well, right? So this way we can pass it, right? And if you want to keep some separator, right, let me show you. Let's say if we want to separate this path for cloud with this one, right? So we have something called sep, right? What you can do is you can define like this. Let's say if I'll give this, mm, okay, there is some thing. Okay. You need to close here, and you need to close here, right? But it is not printing that separator. Why? Because we don't have any two strings, right? So how it will gonna print? Let's say if I'll say class, okay. Yeah, I think there is some. I think positional argument should be at the end, right? I would say class here. That's better option. And I will just remove this, and now you can see, right? Because this sep and end, there is one more thing, and let me show you the same thing. And if I instead of sep I would say end equal to, let's say star. Here probably it will not give you a correct. Let's say if you have two lines with the print you are printing, right? So what it will do is it will print that, right? So see the difference here. What we are doing is we are printing this line, this first string, right? And then the second string, right? Then what we are doing is separate this with the colon, right? So what it is doing, it is printing the first string, then putting the semicolon or maybe the colon, and then putting the second string. Here what we are doing is we are saying that okay, put the asterisk at the end of the string everything. So here you can see that it is putting the asterisk at the end, right? So these are some additional features with the what you say that uh, print, right? Like if you want to say type, right? I think this is already we have discussed. You can see the type of your uh, mm, variable or the argument whichever you are printing, right? So what we do is here, let's say the next one is length function, right? Let's say if I have one length here, welcome to online Python class, fine. And if I'll day okay, I need to store this value, or maybe what we can do is I will just directly pass it to the length. So here you can see what is 30. 30 is nothing. 30 is just a whole character, and make a note, it is counting this white space as well, right? Let me show you. Length ABC DEF, right? So we are just printing the 6 character, but it will give you a 7, right? So let's see, it is 3, 3 plus 6 plus 1, 7. So like that it is printing the white space as well. So if you want to make a count of length of the string, right, the character and everything, then you can make a use of length function, right? Next one is the min function, right? Let's say you have that set of number is 2 3 7 9 8 6 7, whatever it is, right? Then it will give you a minimum number of. If I'll print the same set with the max, okay, I think let me print here as well. So here you can see, right, it is giving the maximum number. So min is a minimum and max is for maximum, right? And what else we have discussed? Round, right? So round is nothing, just give you a round value. Let's say if you are giving 6.2, right, so it will give you a 6, right, which is the nearest full number, right? Let's say if you give 6.5, okay, why it's T, it is giving again 6, right? But what if I'll give 6.6, right? Then the nearest value is 7. So here you can see 7, right? Same way if I'll give the 6.9, so it will give you 7. There is one function, additional function called ABS, which is an absolute number, right? Let's say if you printing 4.5, it will give you the same thing. But if you print -7, then what it will give you? It will give you the 7. The absolute number is the kind of positive number it will give, right? So that is the thing. Input I have all think already discussed, and these are some additional functions, right, which we just discussed. Print, length, minimum, max, round, and there is one more we have discussed, abs. Okay, and okay, let me show you the input function as well. So let's say if you are printing a name3 equal to input, and you are simply saying enter the name, right? And I am printing this print name 3. So what it is giving, it is asking you the name. If you print the name, it will just print the name, right? But if you do the same thing, let's say I'm printing name 4, and if you give 34, right, it will give you 34. But if you check the type of the name 4, right, it is a string type, not a int type, right? If you want to change the like a type of this, right, what you need to do, you need to use a int type. Let's say if you are giving 34 or maybe 39 this time, and if you check the type of now you can see it is giving integer, right? And let me run this. I'll show you one more. 4.9, let's say, right? Let me enter. So here you can see, right, what it is doing is, because we are printing into the integer, right, but we are giving a decimal value which is a float value, so it is not accepting. So what we can do is we can change it to float, and now if I'll give 4.9, it will accept, right? And if you check the type, so it will give you a float value, right? So this is how we can take advantage of input, and then at the same time with the type conversion with all these, right, you can do this stuff. So that is how this is a benefit of this built-in functions. Alright guys, so I'll take a pause here, and maybe in next class we'll start the list and the other data type, right, which is more beneficial for our course. So I would request you, please subscribe my channel and share it with your friends and colleagues, and maybe I will meet you next. Thank you. Bye bye.